And he called for some people to do some more. So, oh, look at that. You know what? I'm just going to sit on the stool. Okay, why not? Okay, 4 minutes and, oh, it's 5 minutes and 10 seconds now. Okay. I did mention, yes, Karl Berg. You wouldn't be faulted for thinking, how the fuck is this guy called Karl Berg? So I'm just going to tell you the story. Back home in the UK, we used to go to this one pub, the Pig and Shovel, I think it was called, in South Wales. And I used to drink Carlsberg all the time. I tried to order one here tonight, and they said, oh, but we have Asahi, it's the same thing. And I was like, yeah, sure, as long as it's alcoholic, I'm fine. But back then I was a bit more picky, so it was all Carlsberg. And for some reason, the bar staff, they decided it'll be funny to call me Carlsberg, because I'm always ordering Carlsberg. So they said, no, Carlsberg, we're just going to call you Carlsberg because you always order Carlsberg. Carlsberg, do you want a pint of Carlsberg? Like, you know, South Wales is a dreary place, so this passed off for comedy, I suppose. But then they hired a guy in the pub who had a bit of a speech impediment. And he tried to call me Carlsberg, and it came out sounding Karl Berg. So that's where the name came from. Just thought, you know, why not? Fuck it. But every time I've told this story to a lot of people, they've got very edgy. You know, speech impediment. Oh, you're making fun of someone with a disability, which I'm not. And even if I wanted to, I can't. Because I actually grew up with a speech impediment myself. When I say speech impediment, it was an Indian accent, but it was the same thing. Really was. I went to the doctors. They couldn't fucking help. I was like, I don't want to sound like my dad. What can I do? Sorry, you're just going to have to sit this through. Well, it's hereditary. Well, who's laughing now? Anyway, I'll tell you something else about like me being in China is so surreal, because all my dreams were, you know, wanting to make it in the BBC, be the next Jeremy Paxman or something. I never fucking thought I'd be coming to China even for a visit. It's not like, I was never one of those wide-eyed people, oh, the Great Wall, I must see the Great Wall. To me, the Great Wall was, yeah, okay, it's a wall, I've seen a wall, great, that means big, so it's a big wall. Don't give a fuck. But then, randomly, I ended up in China. And, like, the first day in China, I was shitting myself. I was thinking, new language, new culture, new people, I'm buggered. And then I get out of the airport, eventually, because, you know, this takes time to get through security, even in China. I get out, and then I see a Subway, a KFC, and a McDonald's. So I'm thinking, actually, I think I'm going to be all right. Wasn't really to be. I mean, I didn't know this. I went to a Subway, that's the sandwich place, not the underground. Sandwich place, fresh out of Britain. I look at this lovely looking sandwich with ham, tomato, all the works. Fresh out of Britain, I go, naively enough, in English, in Beijing. Even in Beijing, I didn't know. I thought, yeah, it's a capital city, people speak English, fine. I just go, hello, can I have that sandwich, please? The woman says, mayo. And I'm like, yes, and some honey mustard as well, if you can. True story. I ended up going hungry for that day, because it's led to commotion. But anyway, and then while I figured out all the other things of, you know, living in China, I was living in a duplex in Beijing. And all of this is off script, so relax, doesn't matter. It's just, you know, 10 people here, we're just having a chat, it's fine. So this apartment that I was renting, it was a duplex. So there was 4 rooms, 2 at the bottom. It was all on the 11th floor, but 2 on the bottom, and then 2 more floors on the top. And when I first moved in there was a Chinese girl who was already living there. But back then, I used to work like the early shift, like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. I used to work at this radio station, so I had to leave at like 3. And the steps were metal, so it would make a banging noise. And suddenly I get a text from her one day saying, can you please watch your steps when you're walking down the steps, because it makes a lot of noise. I wasn't trying to make a noise, it just fucking happened. Fine, I did that. And then I just told her, look, it's just my shoes make a noise, fine. But then, on the other hand, the bathroom was constantly overflowing because a plug hole, there was something wrong with like the sink, like the drain. I stuck my hand in it, pulled out this big sort of fucking hair, like not one hair, but like, you know, hair, I don't know even what you call it, but it was just gunk, but it was plugging the whole thing. I threw it away, cleaned it up, and then I just knocked on her door and said, look, I found this, next time can you be a bit more careful? And without a sense of fucking irony, she went to me, how do you know it's not your hair? That was my